Today we're going to talk about the causes of anxiety in kids because it is very popular to talk about the causes of anxiety in terms of experiences and trauma. And there are a lot of parents I have in therapy, parents of anxious kids, who are getting mixed signals. Let's get to the bottom of it. What does cause anxiety? Well, it's not easy to answer because the answer is complicated. We talk about nature versus nurture, and they both play a role in the answer to this. So some kids, just due to genetics, just due to biology and inborn temperament, have three features that could lend themselves to anxiety. And those features are, number one, they're highly sensitive. Their neuroception, their nervous system's automatic perception of the outside world, is very sensitive and very keyed in. They're noticing all the body language, every sigh, every silence, every temperature change. Everything in their environment is being noticed and registered by their nervous system, and it's accumulating in their body as tightness and a hypervigilance or stressful waiting for the next thing to happen. And that's just inborn. And a lot of times those highly sensitive kids have another feature of how they're born, and that feature is that they're easily trainable or easily conditionable. That means they could have one experience, and that experience trains them to expect something in the world. For example, they ride their bike and they fall off their bike. Now they never want to ride the bike again because that to them is indication that they will get injured if they ride their bike. Later on in life, they go through a breakup. That is an indication that all relationships are going to end in turmoil because they had that one experience. They were conditioned to expect that. That's also called generalizing, when you have something happen to you and then you generalize that to everything you expect in the future. But some kids are very easily trainable and very easily conditionable. They have one experience and then that colors what they expect for the future. The third innate biological characteristic that a lot of people are born with that potentially lends itself to anxiety, but it's just inborn, is a very rigid, black and white, right or wrong, categorical way of experiencing a moment. They have a hard time cognitively and psychologically experiencing two seemingly contradictory things at the same time, like I was broken up with and also I'm lovable. That's a neurological thing. That goes for I'm feeling scared and I can still do the thing anyway. That also lends itself to very black and white, all or nothing thinking. So if they have like a little seed planted of this is bad, it feels really bad. There's no gradients of like, well, I fell and skinned my knee and that's kind of bad. It's I skinned my knee, so I'm going to cease to exist. There's a lot of catastrophizing that comes from that. These are neurological processes that people are born with. The high sensitivity, the easily trainable, which lends itself to easily generalizing things, and the rigid neurology, which lends itself to catastrophizing things. So again, parents did not cause this. The thing about that is parents probably have a similar genetic composition because obviously you share genetics with your children. So what ends up happening is the parents might act out some anxiety due to some of the way that they're wired. And then we have a really fuzzy picture. We don't know if the kid is acting anxious because of the parent's behavior and environment or because of nature and biology. But here's what we do know about environment and nurture. There are things parents can do with their highly sensitive children in terms of cultivating a certain environment and cultivating certain opportunities for awareness and practice that will make the highly sensitive child still experience that split-second distress or tightness, but experiencing it more at a distance, not have it impact their lives, so not have clinical anxiety. And there are things a parent can do with that highly sensitive child, with their environment and with allowing them opportunities to practice certain awareness and certain skills that make that highly sensitive and rigid temperament more likely to end up with an anxiety disorder.